Hello, everyone. Morning with Ray. Coffee with Ray, excuse me. Wednesday morning. Getting all tongue-tied. Coffee with Ray. How's everybody doing this morning? Wednesdays, we are doing Q&A Wednesdays. And I thought I'd start doing this. We did something last week where we're talking a lot about kitchen knives and sharpening knives and all that other stuff. And so this week, what I want to do is show you a little gadget here. Last week, I showed you a knife sharpener. This week, what I want to show you is this incredible meat tenderizer. Now, this is a 24-pin meat tenderizer. And you can see here, it's got a bunch of nails or pointy things sticking out of it. And I love this. I use this a lot, not only in my day-to-day cooking when I'm making meat, but particularly when I am dehydrating and making beef jerky. And the reason I like this is because it really does a great job tenderizing your meat. Again, as you can see, this puppy's got some serious points on it, but this does a great job not only tenderizing your meat, but when you spice your meat up, when you put some rubs and stuff like that, this will help push it down into the meat itself. And I like this a lot. Now, I have to say that I've already been through one of these. They're only $9. And so this time around, I actually bought two because when I did break it, I was really disappointed because I didn't have another one. So now I'm following the 2-is-1 rule. But this is a great tool to have if you've got a dehydrator and you are making beef jerky. You're going to get that meat really tender, really good, and very, very, very helpful and handy in the kitchen. Not only for dehydrating and making jerky, but I also use this all the time whenever I'm cooking any sort of meat. I'll use it on chicken, I'll use it on pork, I'll use it on beef. But this is a great tool to use and help you get going with tenderizing your meat. And the reason I do it for dehydrating is because if a lot of times you'll use a rump round or a round for beef jerky. It's a pretty lean piece of meat. You get some really nice slices and everything out of it. But the round tends to be on the tough side. And so what I do is I'll slice up my meat, I'll tenderize it, hammering it in and everything, and then I'll let my meat marinate. Now, once my meat is marinated and everything, what I'll do then is I'll tenderize it the second time. What I do is I just pile my meat in a pile and just stomp the crap out of it and tenderize it even more. You will have really good, very tender jerky if you use one of these and get it going. But yeah, very, very good tool to have in the kitchen, especially like I said, if you're dehydrating and everything. Haven't really tried it with a freeze dryer. I mean, we don't have a freeze dryer, so I don't know. But again, you want your meat to be tender and everything, but freeze drying will kind of make your meat crispy. And I don't really care for crispy beef jerky. I want that chewy texture and everything. But there are times when you do beef jerky and it's literally tough as leather. So, but this is a great tool to have. Like I said, they're only $9. And what I'll do is I'll actually put it down in my description below, maybe pin it to the top as well. Hey, life and times of a Texas mom. Hola. So, but this is a great tool to have. And like I said, I use this all the time whenever we're making meat. So for dinners and stuff, I'll tenderize anything, be it chicken, pork, steak, whatever. I'll do that. But particularly when I am making jerky for the, dehydrator. So, but what I want to know, anybody got any questions out there? Any questions that I can help answer? Because this is Q&A Wednesday. And so, but life is good. Life is wonderful. It is kind of raining today. And so, kind of got that thing going. But yeah. Oh, right. Forgot to say, I am going to be speaking next week at the Preparedness, Homesteading, and Bushcraft Expo taking place in Hinman, Kentucky on, let's see, March 15th through the 17th. Now, it's interesting. I forgot that the 17th is St. Patrick's Day. So I got to need to make sure that I bring some sort of green kilt so that nobody comes around and pinches me or anything. But I'll be speaking there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have like 125 classes, 125 folks teaching and everything. I'm going to be one of those. And of course, I am going to be talking about dehydration. And I'll be having my book, my dehydrating book, Preppers Tips, Hints, and Bizarre Recipes for Your Dehydrator. And so, but yeah, come on out and hang out with us. We're gonna have a lot of heap and help and hope and fun, and it's gonna be a blast. And so be prepared to drink from a fire hose because there's gonna be a lot of information that you're gonna be hit up with. Let's see. Do green eyes count? I don't know what you mean by green eyes. Do green eyes count? Good morning. I saw a shirt in Walmart that says I pinch back. Oh, green eyes. Okay, yeah, St. Patrick's Day. Duh. Bleh, forgot it. But a lot of people, in fact, probably in your area too, there's going to be kilties running around and everything for St. Patrick's Day. It seems to be one of the popular holidays to get out there and wear your kilt, having a lot of fun and things. So let's see. Good morning. I saw that Walmart said, I pinch back. That's cute. I think that's pretty funny. And so, but Texas mom says, I do green eyes count. And so I don't get pinched. But yeah, I don't know. And it's interesting with St. Patrick's Day and everything. Do people still pinch people on St. Patrick's Day? It's something that we used to do and things, but I don't know if people pinch anybody anymore. It seems to have gone out of vogue and out of fashion. And so, I don't know if people still get pinched. I remember when I was a kid, oh, you didn't wear green, you get pinched and everything. It always happened too because St. Patrick's Day would sneak up on me, and one day I wouldn't wear green something and everything. Sherry Hicks says, I always claimed my green eyes, but they're enough. I'm 50% British. Cynthia has green eyes, and but I've got blue eyes, as you can see. But let's see. Yep, and it's hard to pinch too. So everybody's pinchable. So you just got to find the right place to pinch. But any questions, that you guys got, because this is Q&A Wednesday, and I want to be able to help you guys out. So you've got any questions or anything like that. It's kind of muggy outside. I don't know where it is where you are, but we're getting rain today and everything. I was yesterday. I was kind of starting to get things going in my garden. I'm out there pulling weeds in my bed and getting those things cleared out and everything. And it's interesting. I've discovered some onions. And then also what I've been noticing is here where we live, we have a lot of wild garlic. So I'm really thinking about digging up some of this wild garlic and seeing if I can transplant it into my garden because it is super, super good. Very flavorful, very explosive in flavor. And it really doesn't take that much, but I'm going to be doing that, seeing about doing that. And then yesterday, my broccoli, and I'm loving broccoli. I'm going to plant more broccoli this year, but our broccoli is still producing. I picked or cut a huge bowl of broccoli. We had pork steaks last night for dinner and broccoli, and we had so much broccoli that I had to actually put some back in the refrigerator and things. But my plants are producing like crazy. What you want to do, here's a tip, is a lot of people go out and they clip the heads, and what I do is broccoli always grows like this: your main stalk and then two secondary stalks. So if you cut the main stalk, you'll have these two stalks left, which will then produce, more broccoli. And when they produce more broccoli, they then too will they will become the middle stalk with two other stalks. So if you always cut the middle stalk and leave the two stalks that are there coming in, you'll always have a lot of broccoli coming in. And boy, do we have a lot of broccoli coming in. In fact, I even cut some of the ones where they're flowering and everything. And our broccoli, what's nice is that it has come up kind of stocky, not clumpy. And we like this stocky sort of broccoli because you're not getting that big old bite of broccoli and everything, but it's very nice. And the flavors are just insane. And the little yellow flowers and everything even add more flavor. So just thinking about my mother-in-law, she's 93, lives alone, is determined to live out her days alone. But what the economy totally crashes, what grid goes down. Um, what's not my call. Interesting. So, I mean, some people are like that, and your mother-in-law also is up in the age where she was living through the Great Depression, and so she's got it handled and everything, remembers from back then and things. So when shit hits the fan, I'm covering my bases with my hormones, and I've made wild yam cream. It's supposed to balance your hormones for men and women. How do you feel about the wild yam? I To be honest, I've never, we've got them here. No, those are plantains. So I haven't seen any wild yams, to be honest. So I don't know much about that. That's kind of new on me. Um, I know, I mean, I don't know how yams would work with men, possibly more with women. There's a lot of more foods that are hormone based that affect women and everything. And then once women go through that little time period of menopause and things, then the hormones are going to drop off anyways. But it may help with your hot flashes. I mean, Cynthia is still getting a hot flash every once in a while and things. I don't know if that's just something that naturally happens and maintains, but other things. And as much as I don't like soy, there's a lot of soy products out there. Soy is good for women, and it has a lot of estrogen in it. It's a lot of reason why they call them soy boys, because there's so much soy in the food today that it is, causing boys or men to turn into soy boys and everything. And in fact, bad thing, you've seen a lot of guys with man boobs and everything. It means that their diet is high in soy, because there's a lot of food out there that leverages soy because of the protein aspect, but it is so heavy in estrogen that it is changing men's bodies as well. And so I do everything I can to stay away from soy. I don't want any man boobs. I don't want to, become effeminate and everything. But they're seeing a lot of people, a lot of younger generation that are pretty much effeminate because they've been eating a lot of soy because, oh, wow, soy's got protein. I need protein, all that other junk and everything. I want to have her on that. I want to have her. That gets a lot of stuff from kids and in-laws. They'll be having the meeting Saturday. I'm going to ask a question ahead. Okay, good one. Use liquid aminos instead of soy sauce. I do that as well too. And in fact, I use Bragg's liquid aminos. I do like tamari sauce, which is more flavorful but not as salty and everything. And then also I use a lot of low sodium soy sauce. But the interesting thing is the only real safe way to eat soybeans is if you ferment them. And I don't know if you've maybe seen, there's a Japanese dish called natto, and natto is fermented soybeans, and they're very stringy, very gummy, very weird. They kind of have a earthy, cheesy taste. I personally love it, and it's a very good probiotic for your tummy and everything. But when you ferment soybeans, it takes the hormones out. Whereas if you eat soybeans or just whatever else with soybeans and everything, you're maintaining that estrogen within the soybean. So a good safe way to eat soy is having it fermented. And in fact, one of these days, I've actually got the soybeans and everything ready. You can make natto in your Instapot, and so I want to try that. And I love natto, and it's traditionally eaten in Japan for breakfast because it is high in probiotics, high in protein, and really gets you going and everything. But for some people, it's an acquired taste. I personally love it. But thing is, too, is you don't want to eat too much of it because you're going to produce too much protein or eat too much protein. And when you have too much protein in your system, what your body does is convert it to sugar, which then gets converted to fat. So you need to make sure that you don't just scarf down a lot of natto or something, because it will eventually turn to fat. And I forget the scientific name for it. I used to know that name, where the body converts protein into sugar, that which then converts it into fat. How do you feel about kombucha? I love kombucha. I used to make kombucha all the time, and it's super easy to do and everything. In fact, you can usually, if you're in an area, you can get on Nextdoor or Facebook Marketplace or something, and people are selling scobies or giving them away or something. But kombucha is super healthy for you and really, really good. And what kombucha is fermented black tea. Now, you can try other teas and everything, but you're supposed to traditionally use black tea to ferment it. And it has tons of positive probiotics to it. And what I would do is make it and then just add a smidge of sugar to a plastic Pepsi bottle or a Coke bottle or something, because these bottles are made to be held under high pressure. And so I would save all my Pepsi bottles or Coke bottles or whatever bottles. And when you have kombucha and you make it, and then you just add like a tablespoon of sugar to the mix, shake it up, and let it sit for a couple days, it will become fizzy. And so there's other ways that you can flavor your kombucha. I've done it with pineapple. Pineapple is really good. I've done it with oh gosh, what was it? I tried peaches one time. That was okay, but probably my favorite was with pineapple. But I tend to like my kombucha more on the sweet side, whereas if you let it sit and ferment even longer, the sugar gets eaten up. Now it's going to bubble like crazy, and it's the same process that is made with champagne. Champagne, they do the same thing. They add a smidge of sugar to the bottle before it is corked, and that will cause the CO2 and bubbliness. Um, but super easy to make, really fun. But I would have several kombucha jars, or I used to make them in big 1 gallon jars, and rotate them. So I had like 3 kombucha containers going all the time, so that I would always have some kombucha going. But it's very good. I love a lot of fermenting, and so I use the Hirsch pot or a European fermentation pot. I make a lot of kraut, pickles, peppers and so forth. But I enjoy fermenting. I used to make my own cheese. I love making my own wine, mead. So I like the fermentation processes. And so when you ferment, you're also maintaining a lot of that positive probiotics. Now, some people also ask about canning sauerkraut. Now you can, but what you don't want to do is pressure can it or anything, because when you cook it off, you're destroying all the positive probiotics. But what I do is I jar mine up in mason jars. I leave a little bit of headroom and everything, because it's going to still, grow and ferment and everything. By leaving that little bit of headspace, you're not going to blow your jars up. But I keep them in my refrigerator downstairs, and that way, my kombucha, or I make kimchi. I love kimchi. I used to make that a lot too, but that way they don't explode and things. But let's see. I love brewing jars and a bung that I can use for a second ferment. Yeah. But I do that a lot. Ginger ale or ginger beer. That's another one that is a lot of fun to make and super, super easy. Cut up and grate a lot of ginger, throw it in your fermentation bucket or your fermentation pot and things. Add some sugar, add a smidge of yeast, and make some ginger beer. And that only takes about 3 to 5 days to make. You can let it ferment a little bit longer, and it'll actually get a higher alcohol level and stuff. The negative with making like hard cider or ginger beer or something is that the alcohol that it is made, that it is created, gives you headaches and horrible hangovers. And I forget the name of type of alcohol, but it'll give you a buzz, definitely. But there's a lot of impurities, or it's just not a proper type of alcohol, and it's not been distilled or anything, and it will give you a hangover from hell. So, fun and a lot of fun stuff to do and everything, but you don't want to get too drunk on hard apple cider or ginger beer, even though you can probably get the alcohol content depending on how much sugar you add, excuse me, uh, probably about 12, 13, 15%. And so pretty high in alcohol content, but yeah, you'll be paying for it the next day. Let's see. Sima is a fizzy drink from Finland. Super good. Have to burp your bottles. I don't know what Sima is. It'd be interesting. I'd like to hear more about that. Let's see. Awesome. Texas mom, you're back. Yes. See if a ginger bug. And so, but fermentation is something that I enjoy doing. I really love making kimchi. Now, again, when you make this stuff and stuff, if you're not careful, you don't keep it refrigerated, your bottles or your jars will explode. And so it's, but I love the fermentation stuff. When we had goats, I used to make goat cheese all the time, and I love goat cheese over cow cheese. Cow cheese to me is tasteless, where goat cheese is really, really good, especially when you have really super fresh goat milk. If you use old goat milk, it has been like 7 days, 10 days old or something like that, which is still fresh and everything, but it starts to develop into that barnyard taste. And then your goat cheese taste is really goaty. Whereas if you use, very fresh that day, milk, then the cheese is just insane. And so I used to do all kinds of stuff with my goat cheese. I used to make like an herb cheese, so I'd mix a little bit of salt in with the cheese and a little bit of herbs and everything. And then probably something that I really liked is I made cranberries. And made cranberry cheese. I made blueberry cheese, and that sweet and sorry about that. I hit the mic and I hit my mute button. So hopefully that's better. But what was I saying here? I forget. But I think I was talking goat cheese or something. But thank you for letting me know. Stupid microphone. But let's see. Anything else I can think of? Any questions you might have? Anything gardening? Oh, I am, like I said, I was starting working on my garden and I'm pulling weeds, getting it ready. I got a bunch of garlic or onions coming up. I have no idea what it is, but they're all interspersed between my dead tomato plants. So I'm going to start clipping out my tomato plants and start replanting or repositioning the onions or garlic that I have coming up. And I think I have some Brussels sprouts coming up as well. It's interesting. But my broccoli is doing insane, and broccoli stays year round. You just got to keep taking care of it, cut off the dead leaves and keep it clean and everything. And then keep those stupid white moths away. I've noticed that when I do a lot of my electroculture polls around my broccoli or some of my other cole sort of plants, that when you do electroculture, the white bugs or the white moths don't get to your krauts or cabbages, krauts, and kohlrabis and everything like that. So, but let's see what else. That's pretty much it. Anybody else have any questions that I can answer here real quickly? I'm enjoying doing this Wednesday Q&A, and put a 4x4 greenhouse full of lettuce and out last Friday. It's looking good. Good job, Sherry. Um, I may do something greenhouse-ish this year towards the fall and see what I can do. What I'm thinking about doing maybe is one of those PVC pipe, over, well, I forget what, half dome sort of greenhouses, convert one of my beds into a greenhouse that way. And then that way, maybe I can get some more winter veggies, more broccoli, more cabbages, more, of those more hardier cold weather plants. So, but looking forward to that. Can't wait to get moving gardening. Yesterday was a beautiful day. So I was out there pulling the weeds and everything, kind of getting my beds ready and things. And I'm just dying to get some seeds in the ground. Once I come back from the expo, I plan on starting to get my garden going, because by that time, our last freeze will have definitely been over and done with. So I tried a low hoop house last year, but the wind tore it up. Oh no. But yeah, I'm going to give that one a try. Look into really using some hardcore visqueen. That's contractor's visqueen. I want to say it's something like 10 mil or something like that, really thick, and then brick it down. Put your bricks or stones, or I have 4x4s, that I'm going to probably be using, and anything to really keep it hammered down really good. But yeah, excited for the garden year this year. When I get back from the expo, I'm going to start getting my seeds going and everything. I'm really excited about planting hillbilly tomatoes this year. We planted some last year, and I loved those things. Oh my goodness, they were so, so good. And hillbilly tomatoes just get like gigantic. And you can do a whole slice and make a sandwich out of them. Texas moms, I had to wait 9 days for the last frost in date zone 9. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. Ours is the 15th of March, I believe. But every time I have gotten my seeds going and everything, we'll get this flash freeze, even after it's the first frost or last frost date. And so, I found windows besides the rows. I'm planning to make a couple cold frame. Ooh, cool idea. Yeah, good idea. Um, that's something I may want to try sometime if I find some windows or something. And the thing is, I do see a lot of people throwing their windows away. So yeah, making a cold frame would be great. Let's see. Any other questions or anything like that? I'm kind of yammering on. So if not, we are sitting at 27 minutes, and so I've enjoyed this. Every Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a Q&A. So start thinking about questions and everything so that we can answer them and talk about it and give you my opinion or my ideas or my input. And that's everything, folks. Raymond Moore, Kilted Prepper. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless, and Kilt on.